Simon and I have been talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe finding out Thursday 25% stake, whether it's successful or not, in his bid to get involved at Manchester United. What we do know is he plans to appoint a new sporting director if the bid for the minority stake in the club is successful. And I think you've got the name of one of the front runners.
Yeah, Paul Mitchell, from what I'm told, is really keen to return to English football. He's really keen to return to the Premier League, and I think he'd be really keen to take this job at Manchester United. Did a good job at Southampton, working alongside Ronald Koeman and the like, bringing in people like Cristiano and Sadio Mane. Went to Tottenham with Pochettino. Probably didn't work out quite as well for him there.
So the blueprint for being a Man United in that position is Southampton, is it?
I'm not saying that. I'm just giving you his career CV.
Why do we keep trotting out this trope that Jim Ratcliffe is going to be making this appointment?
Well, because from what we're told, Jim Ratcliffe wants to have overall say on sporting matters.
We were told that the football club was being sold for $6 billion, yet he's bought 25% for 1.3. I think what you get to hear and what you actually find out is the substance behind it are very different things. I would imagine there might be a management change in there, but I doubt that Jim Ratcliffe said, I'm only spending this 1.5 million if I get to appoint the director of football. I think it's nonsense. I think it's a silly debate.
I think he wants to overhaul the entire structure, this footballing structure at Manchester United. And you won't find too many Manchester United fans who will argue with that.
I don't disagree.
To use your phrase, Simon, best in class, have Manchester United got the best in class people in terms of the chief executive or the sporting director? The answer is no.
So who appoints the... So based upon Jim Ratcliffe's enormous achievements at Nice...
They're second in French League
and
at the
Lausanne,
moment.
right?
Unbeaten.
Fantastic in the moment, and Lausanne, who've been relegated under him. I'm assuming that Jim Ratcliffe will know what best in class in football looks like.
I think he'll have a better idea than the Glazers have.
You believe that the Glazers make the director of football appointments, do you? You don't believe that's Richard Arnold?
I'm not convinced that I've got a lot of faith in Richard Arnold, to be honest.
That's a good point. Yeah. I agree with that point.
Who appointed Richard Arnold?
The Glazers.
There you go.
Depends what the remit is, isn't it?
There you go.
I think if this does happen, and by the way, I spoke to somebody close to Manchester United this morning, they said there's no guarantee, even after this board meeting, that we're going to get clarity. Remember, this has been dragging on for nearly a year since we were out in Qatar and the Glazers announced that they were looking for investment. I think Simon and I always felt that Joel and Avram Glazer weren't going anywhere, that they wanted minority investment and therefore could still have their fingers in the pie. I've been told it's not definite we get clarity on Thursday. It's not even definite that it goes to a vote on Thursday. If it does go to a vote at this meeting on Thursday, clearly the Glazers will get their will because there's 12 people who can take part in the voting process. 6 of them happen to be Glazers.
Okay. I mean, one thing we can say about Paul Mitchell, someone I know and you know as well, Alex, he's used to working with demanding employers. When I think of at Tottenham with Daniel Levy, but certainly at Southampton with one Nicola Cortese.
Absolutely.
So if it's Mitchell, I would think United
Nicola Cortese
are doing all right there.
What, with other people's money?
Oh yeah, but he was a tough cookie, was he not? A demanding individual.
I sold him a player for £1 million that I would have sold to someone else for 500 grand. He was a real negotiator, Nicola Cortese.
Jim White and Simon Jordan. Monday to Friday mornings from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the TalkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. TalkSPORT.